Hi everyone, I'm Janneke and welcome to my channel Books and Stitches, wherein I sometimes talk about books but mainly talk about cross stitch. This, however, will be a video about books. As you've seen in the title, I will be telling you my TBR for May for the Adventurerathon. If you're not familiar with the Adventurerathon, it is a readathon that is hosted by Kirsty from KBEV Bookish, I believe is her channel name. I will definitely link the announcement video down below so you can check that out. She will go into all the detail you need to explain it, but it is basically a readathon wherein you create a character and then you go on adventures. So I did the first readathon she organized in this readathon, I guess. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or in a way that makes sense, but the one where you created a character, I did do that one. Then she has had rounds in between then and now. I have not done any of those. I've just been in a reading slump, I guess, the past couple of years, but I'm really getting back into it now. I've read, I think, 6 or 7 books in March. I'm on track to read 7 or 8 books in April. So I am getting back into reading, and readathons are definitely helping. So I want to continue trying to do a readathon each month. And I will do the Adventurerathon this month. I'm going to get back into it. So for this round, we are all stranded on an island together and we're trying to survive. So each character has its own character specific prompts, and there are also a couple of prompts that are general for everyone who participates. So I will go through what the prompts are and which books I will be reading for it. But before I get into that, I am also part of some year-long challenges. I am trying to do Bookemon, which is organized by Merb. I'm so bad with names. I forgot her channel name, but I will also link her Bookemon announcement video down below for this year. So I am trying to fit a couple of the prompts for that into this TBR as well. And I'm also doing Adventures with Eldia, which is the Aurelium year-long readathon. So I'm trying to fit the May prompt for that in here as well. And then besides that, I have my own year-long challenges that I am trying to fit a couple in as well. So you'll see those as they come up. I will explain what everything works for. But we're just going to start at the top. So I have a couple of the books that I will be reading physically, but also a couple I won't have physically. So I will put in pictures for that. So first of all, I am a sovereign in this readathon challenge. I decided my character was going to be a queen. And so I am doing the challenge that is specific to the sovereign for this round of the readathon. The main quest is task delegation. And for that, I have to read a book with a prominent character in a leadership role. For that, I will be reading Ranger's Apprentice, The Siege of Mackinac. This is book 6, I believe. Yeah, book 6 in the Ranger's Apprentice series. This is a series I absolutely adored as a kid, and I have been slowly rereading. I read the first 5 books last year. I'm trying to read the next 5 this year. Technically, I read book 1 to 4 and book 7 last year, because that is the chronological order. And I'm trying to read book 5 this month. I have not yet read it yet, but I still have about a week left. So I am hoping I will get it done this month. And then this book follows that book directly. So book 5 and 6 are basically one story arc, if I remember correctly from when I was a kid. So I want to read book 6 relatively close to book 5, which is why it's on this TBR. Also, I have in my own challenge that I will read 5 Ranger's Apprentice books. So I have to actually put them on TBRs. So the main character in this is definitely in a leadership role. So it fits this. I can't really tell you much about why, because it is the 6th book in a series, but I can give you a bit of a synopsis of the first book. The first book follows Will, who is an orphan, and he is, I believe he is 15 in the first book. And all the orphans at 15 have to apprentice under someone, and he really wants to be a knight's apprentice, but he's very small, and the knights don't really want him. But there is a ranger, which is basically like a spy protector of the kingdom. And there are like rumors that they're magicians and stuff. There is no actual magic in the majority of these books. I think there's actually a couple at the beginning. The first like 2 books do have a bit of like creatures, but in general, this is a medieval book, but not a magic fantasy book. But yeah, he gets to be an apprentice under a ranger, hence the title Ranger's Apprentice. And we basically follow his adventures as well as some of his friends. And I think in the 5th book, he is like a full ranger. So this is 5th and 6th book together are like his first big mission as no longer an apprentice. But yeah, this will be my book for the main quest of the Adventurerathon. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm also going to try to join the Escape the Readathon. But for those, I'm just going to try to fit in whichever books I'm already reading. I'm not reading books specifically for that readathon, if that makes sense. But I will be filling these in any way they fit for that as well. But yeah, this is the book for the main quest. Then there is an optional side quest for the sovereign character as well, which is called Too Many Chiefs. I am going to try to do that one as well. The task for that is to read a book with themes of rebellion, an uprising, or social movements. And for that, I'm going to be reading The Exact Opposite of Okay by Laura Stephen. This is about a girl who gets slut-shamed on like an international level, basically. And she's trying to fit into a world where girls are not treated very well, which is, I'm not sure how to explain what it's about, but it's definitely about a social movement, so it fits that prompt. I've had this for a really long time, and I'm really wanting to read it. Yeah, not sure what else to say about it. This is a YA. It's a contemporary. I don't think it's a romance. I think it's really just a contemporary. It's very feminist, which I have enjoyed in previous YA books. So I'm excited about this one. I'm also reading this because of the Bookama readathon. So I am kind of trying to fulfill the prompts from last year's as well. I'm not like heavily focusing on it, but I wanted to try to fit like 1 or 2 in. And one of the ones I'm missing from last year is a book with a bone on it. And this book has so many things on it, but it includes a little skull there. So this has bones on it in that way. So I'm using it for that as well. But yeah, mainly because it does have a social movement of feminism in it. So that is what I will be reading for that. Then there is a non-reading quest as well, where you have to find out if your city or like local area, if there's any like significant historical movements or events that took place there. I know there have been some significant things in World War II, but I will go look into what exactly happened in my town. So that is going to happen. I won't share it here because I haven't done it yet because the readathon hasn't started yet, but that is also something that I will be doing to fulfill that non-reading quest. Those are my character-specific quests, and then there are 5 quests for just everyone to like survive on the island, to get materials that we need to survive. So I am reading for those as well. The first of which is we need lumber, and for that we need to read a book with at least 1 tree on the cover. For that, I am planning to read Spark. I don't have that physically. I'm planning to listen to it on audio, and so I will put in a picture. It is by M.G. Leonard. It is a middle grade mystery, and it is the 2nd book in the series called The Twitchers. The first one is called Twitch. The first one centers around Twitch and his bully who turns friends within the book, trying to catch a thief. I'm not sure what the mystery will be in the 2nd book, but I really enjoyed the first one, so I want to continue reading it. As you can see, there are multiple trees on the cover. That is also because Twitch, and I believe the other boy's name was Jack, but I could be wrong about that. But Twitch is really into bird spotting, and he like kind of gets Jack into it as well. So they spend a lot of time in the woods. So that definitely fits the lumber prompt. So that's what I will be reading for that. Then the next prompt we have to do is metal, or like we need nails, and for that we need to read something with metal in the title. I looked through all the books I owned. There's nothing with metal in the title. I don't have anything for that, so I'm gonna skip that one and instead gonna double up on another prompt. Because I don't want to read books that aren't already on my TBR. Like I have one or two in here already. I don't want to add more, and I just didn't really find anything that I was like super interested in that have metal in the title. I did look for some like Goodreads list, because if it is something I'm interested in reading, I will put it in if I can get it like through my library or through Everend, which is where I get my audiobooks. But I couldn't find anything with a metal in the title that looked interesting to me. Most of the ones I found were like very heavy fantasy, and I'm just not really into fantasy. So I'm skipping that prompt. So next is cloth, for which we need to read a book with cloves on the cover. That is the one I'm going to be doubling up on, because I thought that was quite an easy prompt for me. I read a lot of contemporary books which have a lot of people on covers, so that is going to be quite easy. The first one that I will be reading for that is Not My Type by Evie Mitchell. Again, I will be listening to this in audio, so I will put a picture up. I don't really know what this is about. I know it's a spicy romance. I know the main character is disabled in a wheelchair, and I know there is like rope play. I have not really read much like erotic fiction, so I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not. I have read a couple of romance books which have like a scene of smut in it, but I think this book is like quite heavy on the smut, so I have no idea if I'm gonna like it or not, but I wanted to try it out. I thought the cover looked cute, and also this is one of Merp's favorites from, I believe it was 2024 that she read, or it might be 2023. I'm not 100% sure, but it was on our list of favorites, and one of the Bookemon prompts that I'm missing from last year is to read the like organizer's favorites. So I looked through her list, and this is the one that like spoke the most to me. She has a wide variety of books on there, but this one just looked fun. So I'm gonna give this a try, and it will also help me like figure out if I do or do not like spicy books, because I haven't really tried them yet, and I know there are a lot of them. So Not My Type, which has two people on the cover, which are both wearing clothes. So that is what I will be reading for that. And as I said, I'm going to double up on this because I don't have a nail prompt. And for that, I am going to be reading the first volume of Irish Folk and Fairy Tales by Michael Scott. I have no idea what to expect from this, so I can't really give you a synopsis. I got this book secondhand from my mom, and I like fairy tales, so when she was like getting rid of books, I was like, oh, I would like this one, and I thought it just looked pretty. So I have no idea what this is about. But for Adventures in Eldia, I am at the point where I have to read a book recommended by someone else in May, and I asked my mom, like, hey, which book should I read? You can pick any book I own that I haven't read yet. And she was like, hey, if you ever read that Irish fairy tale book. So that's what I'm going to be reading. It's very thick, but it is an omnibus of 3 books. So I'm just only going to read volume 1 of it. So I think that's only like 200-ish pages. So that's doable. And I do like fairy tales, so I'm hoping I will like this. And if I find out I don't like this, that is also good to know, and I can get off of my shelves. So this is what I will be reading for that. This like fairy woman also is wearing clothes, so that will count. Then there are 2 more. For the next one, we have to read to get rope, and for that we have to read a book with a bond in the title, and that means like a relationship, a type of relationship. So for that, I'm going to be reading Wayne Family Adventures Volume 1. I will be reading this on Webtoon, so again, I will post a picture because I don't own it, but family counts as like a bond. I have not read any Batman, but I have heard of this particular series, and it just sounds like fun. So I'm going to try reading this. I think volume one has like 25 of the webtoon episodes. I will double check that, but I'm just going to read that many episodes on webtoon and count it as volume one and read that. I am very excited about this. It is about Batman and like all of the Robins, and they're just like normal family like things. They're not like fighting villains. They're just like dealing with family issues or bullies at school or pranking each other. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but it's just like them being brothers basically, which sounds so much more fun than reading about them fighting evil. So I'm gonna give that a try because that sounds fun, and also it's a comic, so it should go really quickly, which is always nice in a readathon as well. So then for the last book for this readathon, I have to read I need to get, I think it's Star. It's something in a bucket. Oh, Pitch. I think it's Pitch. And for that, you have to read a book that is predominantly black. For that, I will be reading This is the Way the World Ends by Jen Wilde. This is another book where I'm not sure what it's about. In this case, it is though, because when I read the back, it just seemed to be like every genre. So it is about a girl who goes to like a prep school or like a school with a lot of rich people. She's not rich. She has like a scholarship. And then at like a masquerade ball, I think she witnesses a murder. So that seems like a thriller mystery. But then also all the electricity in the entire world goes out and the school is like on lockdown. And it's also like, even if we survive this night, how is the world going to be without electricity? So I'm not sure if this is a thriller or a mystery or an apocalyptic book or what it is. But it sounds fun. And I've read other books by Jen Wilde that I absolutely loved, which is why I bought this book. I absolutely just bought this because I love Jen Wilde's writing. She has written some romances that I really loved. She writes about autistic characters incredibly well. And this one is also focused on an autistic main character. So that is why I'm going to be reading this one. So that is my my TBR for May. I did notice that I'm kind of missing like a darker mystery thriller. So if I finish my TBR, I will definitely like prioritize reading something like that because I do enjoy reading those as well. And I recently bought a couple. So the one I'm thinking about is the first in the Kitty Collins series. I think it's called How to Murder Man and Get Away with It. It's like a really orange cover. I will put a picture up. I really am really interested in reading that. I'm also really interested in reading The Maids. That's by Nita Prose. It's like a murder mystery that's centered in a hotel where the maid is the person who like witnesses things and solves murders. I'm also really interested in that. That's one I bought as well. So I will probably try to read one of those as well. But these 7 books are what I'm going to be focusing on. And we'll see how far I get. I definitely am planning on reading them all. I would say I would not be able to because I never usually read more than 3 or 4 books a month. And that was like a real struggle. But since the last 2 months, I have been able to read about 7 books. I think I will be able to now as well. Especially considering I put a comic in there as well as 2 audiobooks that aren't super long. So I am actually relatively positive about reading all of the books and then also adding another book to the list. But we'll see how far I get. For now, I'm going to focus on these 7 first. I am also considering maybe vlogging that. I have been really enjoying watching vlogs of people reading. So if you're interested in seeing a reading vlog for me for the Adventurerathon, please let me know. And then that will definitely help me sway me one way or the other. Right now, it's just a maybe. For now, I am going to focus on finishing my April TBR because I still need to finish 2 books and it is already the 24th. So we will see. But I'm very excited about joining the Adventurerathon. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're also joining the Adventurerathon, what type of character are you and what books are you going to be reading? Like, is there one that you're super excited for? And also, do you have any recommendations, especially for Nils? So, like metal in the title. If you have any recommendations for that aren't fantasy focused, please let me know. Also, not like too literary fiction focused, but I like romance, I like mystery, I like thrillers, I like adult novels, YA, kids books. I have some middle grade in here as well. So, like, I am pretty open to most things. I'm not really a fantasy reader. So, if you have any recommendations for books with a metal in the title that aren't fantasy or literary fiction, please do share them because I would love to try and fit one in anyway, still. So, yeah, I think that is enough for this video. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.